Yeah, Ryan, so crews have been here since about 3:30 this morning at the Addis Israel congregation on the corner of 3rd Avenue East and 3rd Street. And as you can see behind me, majority of this building has been destroyed from this fire. And as of right now, we don't know the name of that victim. Police are not releasing it in respect to his family, but we do know the 45-year-old was transferred to a Duluth area hospital. We do not know his conditions at the moment, but police say they are not thinking it is life-threatening. For students who are members of the Bad River Band, the drive to school is about 15 miles. So if they miss the bus, that's a big issue. But the sweeper van right here is helping solve that problem. Dark lines like these may be permanent because the paint was absorbed into the soft stone. Meanwhile, over here, you can see the orange still in the lettering. Driving behind a plow truck, if you can't see their mirrors, they can't see you. Here at High Banks Resort on Lake Winnipegosh, normally there are over 20 miles of ice roads available for ice anglers. But this year, due to heavy snow and thin ice, owners say they have less than 2 miles available. What started out as a delay.
It is delayed at this time. It was around 6:03 this morning, and now it's bumped up to 6:58.
Soon turned to cancellations.
We were heading to Columbus, Ohio, but we're not anymore.
And missing out on warm weather and holiday traditions.
Have you ever had southern fried turkey? I mean, it just doesn't compare. So, 73 degrees and fried turkey I'm going to miss for snow and fast food.
The unanticipated weather has caused holiday headaches for travelers.
It's pretty sad. I have twin daughters who are coming from New York and from medical school, and I was really looking forward to seeing them. And
it means heading home or figuring out a new plan.
Now we'll go home, maybe a restaurant, and just do it that way.
Travelers all have high hopes they'll eventually make it to their destinations.
I think it'll all work out.
We'll try. We'll just hope that the wind and snow conditions improve so that we can all get on our flights and see our loved ones.
Are here. It's a miracle.
Residents in the hillside neighborhoods are finally getting out of the house after some real cabin fever.
I've been trapped here since Friday. As you can see, I'm in the middle of trying to get out, but it's been a long weekend and week here.
Like 3 or 4 days. And so it's been pretty crazy, but thank goodness I had enough food that was stocked up.
Trapped inside and no school for students at Myers-Wilkins Elementary School.
But I'm kind of glad they also canceled school so kids don't have to trudge through the streets since all the sidewalks are not done or anything like that. And it gets kind of dangerous too because they're so little. It's an elementary school, you can't see them over the corners too.
I was not very happy, I'll be honest with you, just because I have 3 boys and they're very cooped up. And so they've been pretty antsy inside the house for the last couple days.
Even though it took some time getting out, some residents say there's no one to blame.
It's no one's fault, really. It's a lot of snow, and it was a really fast turnaround time on all the snows overnight, so there's really nothing anyone could have done. There could have been a little bit better planning and stuff like that, but it is what it is.
But the kids, they're having a good time.
With the big blocks of ice they're trying to transfer in my house, just have a mop. It'll all be okay.
Heading out on the road. Looks a little different for the truck drivers at Halver Lines in Superior as the COVID-19 pandemic continues.
Our whole operations has changed. Our drivers are still out running.
Changes to operations include extra sanitizing efforts and allowing drivers to plan their trips more independently.
We've did things as far as opening up our fuel network to allow the drivers to fuel where they would like, let them plan their trips a little better.
For driver Julie Simonson, she's mapping out her trips ahead of time and using her bed in the truck more often as rest stops are closed in certain states she travels through.
I know how often I have to stop and such, so I place myself where I need to be. But I imagine it's probably difficult restroom-wise when they're shut down.
Simonson says the loading and unloading process has changed due to the companies she's making deliveries to being short-staffed, which can add extra time to her routes.
When we go through the gates, we have a number of procedures we now have to go through in order to get into the yards to be loaded.
Hammond says business has slowed down slightly, but demand for supplies is still there, and drivers
are continuing to hit the road.
The drivers are very willing and wanting to work, so we're trying to keep the work in front of them.
House Judiciary Committee this morning is back in session unexpectedly. The vote to pass 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump was scheduled for yesterday, but was postponed by Democrats very late last night. Republicans accused their colleagues of putting off the historic vote to get more television exposure. Wisconsin 511 shows I-535 North is closed at US 53 in Superior due to a crash. 511 issued the alert shortly before 10:30 this morning. Roads are listed as snow-covered in the area. Republican Phil Scott has been re-elected for his 2nd term as governor. According to the Secretary of State's website, Scott received approximately 54% of statewide votes, beating Democratic nominee Christine Hawkist. However, this was one of the only victories that the Republican Party would see this election. Don Turner lost his election for lieutenant governor to David Zuckerman. And the Vermont State Senate is considering a bill that would create a 24-hour waiting period for any gun purchase. WCAX reported that the bill's proposal was approved as of Friday. It was passed by the Judiciary Committee by a vote of 3-2. The bill was considered after some gun shop owners stated that handgun purchases are often impulse buys.